Hey guys, welcome back to Dimitri's Garage. I got my buddy Sean again. We're going to be working on his Turbo M3 build and finally finishing up those brakes. You want to tell us a little about what we're going to do today, Sean?
Yeah, we're going to reassemble these. I've got all new seals, the dust seals for the Porsche brakes. The only thing the APs come with are the pressure seals. They don't run dust seals there. All the pistons are cleaned up and smooth. I had to source all new hardware to put them back together. That was quite a feat, but got it done. You're gonna be putting the pressure seals into the AP calipers. They use two different sizes that fit into each groove there. So each side uses 4. Same thing for the brembos here. I was able to pull the old ones out. They were in really good condition. So got the new dust seals. I'm gonna throw those on and should be good to go. I took the pressure seals and I soaked them in brake fluid for about a half an hour. They just came out and ready to get them installed into the grooves there. So I'm gonna start with the back one. It's the thicker one here. And just kind of pinch it a bit. And you got to make sure it goes in untwisted. It is seated correctly. All right, so I'm gonna take the front one now. I don't know if it would stay still. All right.
That looks great.
It's in there. Okay, so same thing. I'm gonna do the back one first. Make sure, keep it straight. Yeah, just popped in. Okay.
All good.
Yeah.
So that caliper half is complete. So now you're going to start installing the pistons, right?
Yep.
This is going to be fairly difficult. Well, there you go. This is going to look really easy in the video because we're going to cut it down. But just expect that this is taking minutes. Like, don't think we did this in 5 seconds if you're doing it.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Time to move on to the next one.
All right.
Like, the weird thing is, though, it wants to be walked down to a certain to a certain spot, and then it's when you go straight. Yeah, I was trying to go straight the whole time. That's where it's stopping. Oh, this one would have been way easier. Last one. Same thing. Brake fluid on it. Put a little on the seals. Walk it down. Alright, so that's where it stopped.
All right, so Sean's going to start reassembling this. What do we got to watch out for to do this correctly?
Take your time and try not to cross thread it.
Now, it's very important that you prepare the 2 surfaces, the mating surfaces, right?
Mm-hmm. Put it up on its side. And so for the larger two, we're using an H8. All right, the smaller two, it's going to be an H6.
Man, that's gonna look so cool. Tell the good folks what you're doing.
All right, so we're going to put the pistons back into the brembos. I've got the new seals that I've taken out of a good soaking and brake fluid. Now on these, the pressure seal they have tucked up in there, so I need to make sure you grab those. Get those installed before trying to put these on. So the large one, kind of tricky because they're so far back.
So this is basically the same thing we were doing with the AP Racing fronts.
Yeah, it's a smaller bore, and like I said, I mean, it's so much farther back in there.
Yeah, but I mean, you're basically using the same trick of kind of scrunching it up and getting it in there.
Yeah.
Sean's like the world's worst gynecologist right now.
Dude, they pop into the very back. You can't really see it. Okay.
Nice, you got it in there.
Okay.
Cool.
So we got to slip these over the piston. So extend it all the way out. Get it centered. Push it down nice and easy till it clicks in. Looks good. So once you have it clicked into place, just slide this back up to the front.
Very nice. Oh, there you go. Dude, you're a pro now. Man, you're just going nuts. This is your third one now in like seconds. So the Brembos, what do you think? They're easier?
Yeah.
I guess these are probably just maybe more modern. You know, they're monoblock design. And now the fourth one. Sounds like the Phantom of the Opera, but with gloves. So while you guys get the next one done, we're gonna start reassembling everything else. All right, so now we're gonna install one of the rear Porsche brake calipers, the Brembo that we just finished assembling.
Okay.
Very good.
So we're going to use an H10 to cinch them down.
You don't want to use too much torque.
So first thing I'm gonna do is put some of this Seal Glide on the top of the piston there.
Your hat's always in the way. All right, now Sean's grabbing the pads for the rear here. Now the most important part is we've got to drive the bolt through this whole setup, and that's going to hold the brake pads inside the caliper.
Gotta be a little persuasive here.
There you go. Beautiful. Cotter pin coming in. Having installed the rear caliper, we're going to move to the front of the car and get the front caliper installed. The first thing Sean and I are going to do is get the caliper prepped with the anti-squeak agent there. What is that called?
Seal Glide from Napa.
Seal Glide, yeah. So we're going to start with the Seal Glide. We're going to apply it to the pistons. So Sean's going to apply the Seal Glide.
You just dabbing spots. And then I'll go around. I don't want to put too much on there.
Yeah, and the purpose of this is to prevent squeaks when the pad kind of moves and shimmies around.
Next step is to get the caliper mounted. Okay.
So you're going to use an H8?
Yep.
Now we're going to put the brake pads in, and Sean's starting from the inside brake pad.
Yeah.
And then he's going to move on to the outside brake pad. And what's really cool with these kind of calipers is similar to Brembos or other types of calipers like this is that you don't have to take the caliper off to change brake pads if you're on the track. You can just pop a pin out and take the little clip off. And so Sean, you've got the little dowel and the bolt threaded in here now.
Yep. So I'm gonna keep on going. All right, so the last bit is to get the banjo bolt on. And don't forget to put your crush washers on.
Yeah, it's very important.
Kind of hard to work blindly.
Yeah, I know, man. That's one of the downsides of making videos is you're like, well, the camera's got a really good look at what I'm doing. So Sean's trying to remove the current brake fluid reservoir.
This thing is on there.
Yeah, so Sean's definitely having to fight this thing. Damn, it really doesn't want to go. And I don't really want to like jack it up either. Whew.
Came off.
Yeah. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to transfer the remaining fluid there we go. So Sean's now just kind of wiggling that thing around until it comes out of its seating. It's nice and clean. So Sean, what are we going to do now?
We're going to be bleeding the system, make sure everything is good. I've got a Schwaben kit here. I've got the Super Blue fluid.
So the way that this system works, essentially, you're going to pour the fluid into this pressurized container down here. The container, you're going to pump up to no more than 20 psi. That's going to pressurize and fill the cylinder up there, right, the container, and then that's going to pressurize the brakes.
I don't think this is how Walter White did it.
Is this not how Walter White made his blue mouth?
I don't think so.
Damn it. I thought we were going to be rich, like astronauts.
Rich like astronauts.
All right, so we're going to bleed these, and because they are two-sided 4-piston rotors, there's 2 sides to bleed. Inside gets bled first to get the air out from right here, and then crack this open and it pushes all the bubbles out this way.
And while we're doing this, we're also checking the pressure on the power bleeder to ensure that it doesn't dip low, which will introduce bubbles.
All right, that one's good.
So we're going to do the front and bleed that just like we did the rear. Try to push the line back the way it was because it kind of gave a clearer shot. Yeah. All right. Now your hands cover. There we go. Bubbles are bad. Probably some of the last ones here. A little more. That might be it. So guys, now that we're done bleeding, we're gonna go ahead and throw the wheels on the car and we'll call it a day for today until we have a chance to come back with more stuff to do the coolant system. And then the car should be up and running and then we can focus on bigger and better things. Sean, any last words?
I'm glad today went better than the previous. Yeah, today was okay, so I'm happy.
Right. Today was a good day. Didn't have to use your AK.